I need to unmute myself. Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Good morning again. It's Monday morning. Give us a break. And good morning, welcome back to the channel. My name is Baz. This is One Celtic Fans View, and it's called the One Celtic Fans View because we try to get as many views of Celtic fans as we can on the channel. There is a bit of an update, but we'll talk about transfer speculation first. Now, there was a lot of messages getting sent to me last night asking about a certain player coming from Holland. And the fact is, Celtic have not made contact with his club. They've made contact through an intermediary. So it's not direct contact. They're basically sounding out a player. If we're going to talk about every single player that Celtic sound out through an intermediary, it's going to be a hectic remaining 2 and a bit weeks of the transfer window. That's why I never spoke about it last night. Celtic have not made contact with his club. There's no point talking about it. If you ask me, if it happens, it happens. Let Celtic just do what they're doing behind the scenes. I've not added to the speculation over the last week because I don't think it's doing the fans' mental health much use. And it's not doing my mental health much use when we speculate about every single player that's maybe going to come in and not come in and then it doesn't happen. So we just leave it at that, and I do believe that Celtic will try their damnedest to bring in players in the next 24 hours. Today's the day to watch for, because if there are players going to come in and let's face it, it's going to have to be a damn good winger that comes in, or a damn good striker that's proven at a decent level to come and walk straight into the team in the Champions League qualifier game. No player that comes in this week is going to make a massive difference to the game on Wednesday night. If Celtic don't know anything about the player, if Brendan Rodgers has only watched snippets of him. So talking about it being a boost for the club, yeah, it'll be a boost for the club in the season going ahead, but when it comes to this game on Wednesday night, I don't think that anybody coming in this week, unless Celtic go out and spend big, which I don't think they will, and I don't think that any of us really believe that they'll go out and spend big this week. So we'll just leave it as it is, and hopefully Celtic do get the numbers in, and we take it from there, because we could do with a little bit of a boost this week, couldn't we, as fans going into this game. Anyway, with that being said, why is that open? I'll shut that back down. I've lost something. Yeah, right. So last night we did something new on the channel, and it's something that I'd been kind of working on and planning behind the scenes for about a month and a half or so, maybe even a couple of months. We did do the very first Celtic Zoom. Yes, it is going to be called the Celtic Zoom, and it was a success. It was something new for the channel, and it's something that we're going to be going ahead with on a regular basis. Now, I thought that it would be an interesting one just to try it out on a Sunday evening when there's not too many people around, and we can try and get as many Celtic fans on as possible. When you look at the journey of this channel over what year is this? 2025. Over the last 15 years. When I did the first ever Celtic video, because it wasn't even a Celtic channel to start with, it was just, there was a couple of nonsense videos on it. When I did that first ever video of Neil Lennon being announced on the doorstep at Celtic Park as manager, and there was only around about 100 fans there that day, I never thought that this channel would go down this road to be what it is today. Obviously the channel went down a different road when there was a lot of early Green Brigade content and a lot of content at the games displays 13 years ago, and then it changed again in 2018, 2019, when I started doing more vlog type videos. And then there was obviously lockdown, and lockdown changed this channel forever, because without lockdown the channel would not be in the format that it's in today at all, really. The channel then became the first early morning news, Celtic news channel, in a different format again. The channel has always been about progressing, and it became an AI channel with an AI voice. A lot of people then found the channel through the AI voice Celtic news content, even though the channel had been around for 10 years before that. But I always knew that was a concept that could be quickly copied, and I was right. So I ran the channel, and the channel was never meant to have my face on it, to be fair. I was never meant to be this side of the camera. I was meant to just be filming stuff at most. So I knew that was a concept that would always be hard to keep up and to reach as many fans as possible. That I came to the decision one Christmas and I put it out to the fans. I always put stuff out to the fans first of all, when it comes to the channel. So I did know that the only way to take the channel to the next level would be to put my ugly mush on the channel, and it was a nerve-wracking time. And to be fair, I tried it about 6 months before and I hated it. I done it about 6 months before and I hated it, and I was like, nah, can't do it, just can't do it. Too many of my mates that go to games are going to be sitting going, Baz, what are you doing, man? What the fuck's this all about? Do you know what I mean? So it's worked out a success, and it's always been about changing stuff on an ongoing basis with the channel. This is the next step. The Celtic Zoom, as it has been called, as it will be called, is going to be a new added feature. It's not going to take away from the news content early in the morning and afternoons and the lives every evening. But we'll still continue with all that content. The Celtic Zoom is just going to be a format that will come on, and I'm thinking reactions after games. I am thinking about doing a reaction after games, because it's sometimes, Baz, you can try this. Logged into Zoom. I tried it last night and it worked. It didn't. If anyone tried to log in last night, it wasn't during the live, because it rings. And this isn't, I'm not using Zoom as the platform. I'll get to that in a minute. It wasn't run through Zoom as a platform. So Zoom is just the name for the thing. It wasn't run through Zoom at all. So we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, it is a format that I'm going to take forward to get as many Celtic fans. It's okay putting up the comments, but every other channel's doing that. And every other channel is doing it on a regular basis. And this channel is always about taking the next step forward. And the next step forward for me on this channel is about getting as many Celtic fans involved as possible. And that's why the Celtic Zoom is now a new feature. Brian said he missed the Zoom yesterday. I was doing things with the family. Yeah, it was more just a test, Brian. It was just a test just to see how it went. And for me, there's a lot of controls that I need to get used to on the software. When you're on live, you can still can you still see this channel? Yes, you can. Yeah, Mikey boy, you can still see the channel. You'll still be able to see everything else. Can I see the channel? No, because I'm generally watching the screen and but I'm not looking at any stuff on the channel. But anyway, Celtic board need to go to confession. Yeah, they need to do that today. So I hope you enjoy going forward, and I want to get as many people as we can. I don't want to have the same people coming on every single week. I want to get as many Celtic fans as possible coming on to the Celtic Zoom. Anyway, that is the update for that. There's been a big fallout with Celtic fans about this nonsense at Celtic Park, and about the fact that Celtic have put up barriers inside the stadium to stop fans migrating. For me, if they're going to go down this route if you're American, or route if you're just one of us, Celtic do need to reconfigure the stadium, because to me that barrier is put up for away fans. That's a barrier for away fans. At no point should a barrier like that be put up to segregate Celtic fans within the stadium. Celtic Stadium has always been known for the fact that you can walk around the full footprint of the stadia and get to any section of the ground. Now, with the fact that the modern day football, and the Green Brigade put out a statement last night, the only way to stop migration is to create the Celtic end. That will not stop migration. You know, creating a Celtic end behind the goals, and their argument will be, well, it will be, because everybody that wants to stand will join that standing section. And no, because there will still be people. It's in people's nature when they don't get to games on a regular basis. You get someone that buys a ticket for a part of the ground and they're thinking, fuck, a few babies more, let's go into that standing section, man. Fucking, this fucking looks amazing, man. It's shite out here. Let's fucking get into that standing section. It's always going to happen. You know, moving the standing section to a different part of the ground is not going to make a big difference. So I understand why Celtic have done that. But I also understand the frustration of fans. And if Celtic do want to put barriers up, build a wall, as in Trump ground. But anyway, it's to stop the Green Brigade stashing things in parts of the stadium. I don't think so. I don't think it's that at all. Because why they've got their own cupboard in Celtic Park. You know, they've got their own storeroom in Celtic Park, so they don't need to stash things around the stadium. They have a storeroom in Celtic Park. A lot of people don't have. Baz, I'm so happy for you. You showed your mug and you put the work in the channel. It's been fantastic content. Yeah, and Gus, and I love and I appreciate every single person that subscribed to the channel. There's still a massive amount of people that haven't subscribed to the channel on an ongoing basis, and I think that it's me giving back and allowing the fans to have their say, because it's okay just putting up comments like this. But that's nothing. Hank, who was on last night, great job, Baz, giving the family a chance to chat. I see Baz remember about no swearing. Yeah, no swearing on some of them. Some people were a little bit, but it's okay. You can get away with a little bit of it. So it is that. Just get up. I think I love the show. Great to be alive, man. Yeah. So going forward, that is basically the Celtic news this morning. I will do it after games. I think we're going to do it after games to give a lot of people more chance of getting on. Now, I will say, we can only have 10 people on at one time. So there's two ways that I'm thinking about putting the link out. Because you're not wanting just fucking any old... There's chances that, I don't think you're going to get zombies coming on, because let's face it, you'll be able to see who their channel is and they're not going to come on and show their face, are they? So it's something that I need to think about going forward. And it's exciting, and I was buzzing after it. I thought it was a great addition to the channel. Bring back the jungle. Celtic security have access to a cupboard, Baz. They can't start poiros in there. Yeah, no, exactly. Celtic can go in and take in and out. They want out the cupboard at all. So it's bring back the jungle. It's never going to happen, the jungle, is it? And I think that the way that the modern day Celtic fans are, they're too... there's a lot of people for the standing section, and there's a lot of people against it. When you look at where they want to put the Celtic end, there's people that have had their seats in there since the stadium was built. I know guys that have sat in the same seat since the stand was built, and they're not going to want to move. Well, why should they move? Do you know? And the talk of a Celtic end is a fan focused thing, and we can all agree on one thing: the board do not give a flying about the fans. Do you know, they don't give a flying hoot about the fans. They will do what's best for the club. Do you know, if you give them the Celtic end, they start demanding an extra, let's do the main stand. Well, do you want to stop walking out 10-15 minutes before the end of the game? Then we'll think about building an extra 10,000 seats on top. Because as it stands, and this is the argument, I want to see a bigger Celtic stand. I want to see an all-round better stadium. But the Celtic board will argue on the narrative that If people are leaving the game 10 to 15 minutes early already, why should we build and why should we go to the expense to add another 10,000 seats on when it's going to be even more people within the footprint of the stadia who are then going to leave early? And when fans leave early, it doesn't look good on the telly. You know, you don't see it in English Premier League games. You don't see fucking thousands of people fucking heading out. You know, in a Man City game or something like that. Man United. You know, in the English games, you don't get a lot of people leaving early. At Celtic, you do. So, you've got to... It's okay thinking about it from a fan's perspective and the standing end and everything that could bring to Celtic. I'm all for the standing section, all for it. But I've also got to see the side of the fans that have been in those seats for years. Families. There's kids that have grown up knowing only those seats in Celtic Park, and they're now adults, and it's like that's their part of the ground. If they want to sit and just sit and, you know, that's fine. Do you know, it's modern football. The track outside the stadium, fucking farce. Let's jump into some of the comments. The only ones leaving early aren't in the standing section, but it's a massive amount of people round the stadium. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got to look at the amount of people from all parts of the stadium that are leaving early. If you add another 10,000 on top of it, Baz, no. I was in 404 North since it was built. I have nothing because the ticket office missed my renewal. Life and nothing. I missed your renewal. Surely you could fight your... I would go and speak to John Paul Taylor and... Celtic are massive. No, 100k would not go to Celtic every single week. They are not Barcelona. Barcelona knocked down their stadium to build a 105,000 seater stadium because they knew they've got the footprint of the stadium. People don't drive there in cars and park there. Celtic Park and Celtic Football Club have too much of a fan base that drive in their car to games and want to leave early to beat the traffic. Adding more fans onto it is not going to work. The footprint of the stadium, of where it is within Glasgow, is not going to work. When Celtic were made to sell the ground that is now the dual carriageway at the side of the road, when that massive bus park area that was behind the old flats, I mean, old school Celtic fans will remember the flats that used to be at the side of Celtic Park and the fact that the buses used to park behind them. When that area disappeared, I need to watch my time. When that area disappeared and we were forced to put the buses in the arena car park across the road, it wasn't too much of an issue. But the fact that you've got 10 to 15,000 cars extra in the vicinity of Celtic Park is a big issue. And Celtic, their argument will be, if you've got 10,000 people leaving early to go and get their cars and leave, adding another 10,000 on top of that is where are they going to park? It will be the argument with Glasgow City Council. And the seat they offered you was mince. Someone else has my original seat. So won that one. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is with the ground, and I can't see anything happening soon with that. When it comes to transfers and transfer speculation, let's just see what Celtic pull out the bag today, because it is going to be a case that these men need to get their finger out. They do need to get their finger out. And will they? we'll wait and see. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning. It was just a little bit of an update on my thoughts on the transfer speculation that was kicking around yesterday. We're talking about a player that has been speculated on and a player that hasn't been contacted by, or his club hasn't been contacted by Celtic. Until that happens, there's no point talking about it really. So yeah, evening, morning, Quinny. How are you? I'm just about to leave, mate. You're a bit late to the party. Anyway, have a fantastic morning. Pray for Stegs. Do you think that one's really going to happen, mate? Celtic, it was your right. We'll speak to Quinny. Celtic haven't contacted the club. It's been done through an intermediary, from what I'm getting. Is that correct, Quinny? In fact, do you want to come on, Quinny? Do you want to come on the channel quickly? I've got 10 minutes. Where's the Zoom? Bam. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Let me just do this quickly. Chat. Click that and come on, Quinny. Come on, Quinny. Let's get Quinny on the channel this morning. I've got 10 minutes. 15 at a push. I'll pop on too. Square Sausage Mix, you could pop on too if you like. Right, let me get on the Zoom screen. I'll change that back to now. Just waiting on him phoning in. Come on, Quinny. It should work. You need to do it if you need to go through Chrome. There we go, Quinny's there. You need to go through Google Chrome. There we go, Green Room. How you doing, mate? Give me 2 seconds. Unmute. Our left, our right. And by the power of Grayskull, I can hear him. See when you've got new software. There we go.
Hey.
He's live. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Right. Give us the lowdown on this geezer.
Well, I've read the reports that have came out from Celtic here this morning, as well as everyone else. I seen last week, I think it came out as kind of clickbait. I think it was like a journalist in Holland and it was like, oh, this guy would fit well.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's actually been some movement with it. I don't think it's like, you know, Celtic talking to like representatives or whatever before the club.
Yeah.
It's kind of, in this day and age, you notice this with other
it's always intermediaries that get the ball rolling.
Yeah. So if you remember the Ekitike transfer that just happened with Liverpool.
Yep.
So Liverpool sorted it out with the club.
Yep.
Newcastle went and sorted it out with the player.
Yep.
And then if you're in a race, it kind of depends on, you know, Newcastle still hadn't agreed. Or no, was it the other way around maybe? Newcastle sorted it with Eintracht. They were like that. Here's the money. They'd all sorted it. But Ekitike was already, you know, Liverpool had already got wages in front of him and got his eyes spinning. So I think if there's other people in the race, it's probably better to have the player on side before you go to the club.
Yeah.
The club's maybe a wee bit less to figure out, a wee bit harder to figure out, rather than going after the club and then the player's like,
and then the player's
I'm
like,
not going to Scotland.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite good, man. I'm buzzing for it. Stengs is a player I've been aware of for a while. Very good player.
Are you not worried
about Champions League as well?
Are you not worried about his injury record?
A little bit. I think you have to be with these guys, but overall, like I don't think it's going to be in the realms of like Charlie Masonda or any of these kind of guys, where they're forever injured.
Yeah.
Guys that are like attackers, that are dribbling, that are quick, they get kicked up and down the park, and they're just a bit more prone to those kind of muscle strains and whatever. So I wouldn't let it put me off the deal. I do think that'll push Celtic but to be extra frugal with it, just to but I like the speculation a lot.
Yeah.
I wasn't for it.
Well, do you think that he'll walk straight into the squad for Wednesday if it happens to? It really needs to happen today, doesn't it? I mean, you've got to get the medical. The medical would have to get done today for the paperwork to go through tomorrow for him to even be in the squad. Is he the type of player that can push Yang straight out the team and walk straight into the squad?
1,000%. Yeah, but like this is a guy that will definitely be a best 11 level, and when everyone's when you've got Jota Dyson back fit, it'll be really tough to pick who he's playing out wide. He can play number 10 a little bit as well, similar to Stengs. Similar to Negren.
Yeah.
The way he kind of moves, he's not got as much like defensive. Like we've seen Negren get quite deep already from that midfield spot, which I didn't think was going to happen. I thought he was a wee bit too front-footed. But
I think that I think that's ingenious by Brendan, putting him in besides Kalmack and then giving them that free rein to come into the attack, and totally mix things up. But it's the way that a lot of European clubs are going. There's quite a lot of clubs this season have been setting up a 4-2-3-1 formation, and it's like that's how we're going to go into the Champions League.
Yeah, I watched tons of Premier League this weekend with it being back on, and you're spot on. I often use the Newcastle midfield as like a bit of a prototype for what you see a lot of clubs doing nowadays, because it's a kind of watered down version of Man City. Man City's kind of hard to use as an example because it is so extreme what the quality they've got. But if you look at the Newcastle midfield, also we've got to see a lot of them up close and personal. But all three of them do everything.
Yeah.
They go line to line, box to box, tackle everyone, pass to everyone, get shots away if they can, So I think it's a really good move. I think you see it already, like Hatate feels a wee bit freer off the back of it as well, because last year it was...
He's playing with a smile on his face. And that's the difference at the start of this season. I don't know what Brendan said to him during the pre-season, but he's playing with a smile on his face going into the start of that season, which he's never done. You never get the best. You never get the best. I can think back to when Brendan first came in, and David Turnbull was in better form, and Hatate was dropped first game of the season because Turnbull was on fire. And Turnbull scored. What did he score? 2 or 3 games in a row at the start of that season, and everybody's like, "Why are they playing Turnbull? He's shite." But he was the guy in form. But this season, Hatate's. You can't drop Hatate. He's phenomenal, and he's playing with a smile, so he's happy.
He's the only player we've got kind of like that, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think the Stengs is definitely on that Negren level in terms of the sort of player, the sort of prospect he is. Like, I remember when he broke out in the AZ team, it was him and another guy called Boadu,
right?
Who, he's not a bad striker. We could probably do with a guy like him as well. But he's had some big moves for some decent money, Stengs, and like France, he went to France. I'm not too sure if that was too much of a step up for him. And then he's been back to Holland at Feyenoord, won the league and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's guys like that we want, guys that are like Champions League quality, but are they making it into a top 5 league? Maybe they could, maybe they're not quite there yet. But if anyone remembers Feyenoord when we had Ange as manager, like Stengs was a big part of them beating us. Like he was really, he might have even scored the free kick went in at the first half. I can't remember. He might have done, but he was brilliant against us. I remember watching out for him on that night. And rumours like him, Balakwisha, Brahim, these are the sort of rumours that I'm interested in. See like the Strelic one that won't go away. We had a Romanian guy as well.
Strelic's done nothing against the team that we're playing on Wednesday. I mean, I watched both of those games, and he had one decent header. And if you think Adam Ida's header was bad, I mean that was just the same quality. And he might have had a good season last year, but then again, maybe Brendan Rodgers likes him and thinks he can bring the best out of him. But I don't know. I'm not too sure.
You see the reports as well, Baz. It's going to be like 6-7 million for this guy.
Yeah,
we're not pushing the button on £6 million for guys in Holland and Belgium.
No,
why are
no
we
chance.
spending that money on a guy in Slovakia? You know what I mean?
I know.
I just don't see it, and I don't know. I hope it's not serious, because if they do spend €8 million on a guy like that, and we've let all these other guys that are better in theory slip through our fingers. It'll just feel dead weird, you know.
I think do you think there's a power struggle going on at Celtic?
I think I don't know if power struggle. I think whatever we all feel is happening. I think it is happening, but I'm not too sure it's quite to the loggerhead kind of situation that we're all worried about. I think, you know, the club's got parameters internally. It feels like, you know, and we've all spoke about it. I hear you chatting about it, and it feels like there's either this soft budget where if it's not a player above this price, fill your boots, don't phone me for authorization or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if it's not that, he's got like a pre-qualifier budget and it's the same script. You've only got that. Don't ask for any more. Get on with it. Deal with it. But I don't think the power struggle thing. I don't think Brendan's against anyone in the club. I don't think. You know, the Peter Lawwell Brendan thing, I'm maybe not too up on. A lot of Celtic fans have been kind of saying to me, "Oh, you're forgetting this, Quinny, and forgetting that." And maybe I am sometimes, but I don't think so. I actually seen Brendan yesterday just by chance.
Did you?
I went up Mugdock Park, if anyone knows it.
Aye.
And that's, you know, round about there, there's some pretty fancy houses. Everyone knows the area. And I was just driving back, and he was at the bottom of his driveway, like flagging somebody in. If you know what I mean? And I was just like, to the missus, I'm like, "Is that Brendan?" And he just turned around and looked at us. Like,
do you think he'll be away at the end of the season?
I don't think he wants to be. Again,
I don't think he wants to be, but I could understand if he wants to win the treble this year, and I think that he's highly motivated to try and get Celtic to win the treble. And it wouldn't surprise me if he won the treble and then went, "Do you know what? I came in and I said I would stay the 3 years minimum," and I think he's going to put it onto the board and make sure that everyone knows it's the board that are not meeting my ambitions. I think that that's the way that it could go, and that's the way that he'll play it out if it does go that way.
I think we've already seen that, because I think, what was it, the first press conference before the season started?
Yep.
Somebody asked him about it, and he said that they all sat down.
Yeah.
The club
during the
know
summer.
where I am.
Yep.
If they want someone to maintain, it's not going to be me.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Just get a Ronnie Dyler janitor in.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day. Right, that's me done and dusted for this morning. I've got some stuff that I need to do, and I've got around about an hour to get to where I'm going. Thank you to Quinny for coming on the live this morning. That's not a worry. I'll get you on again. I'm doing a new format called the Celtic Zoom, which we're going to be doing a Zoom call with as many reprobates as we can get on. The fantastic Celtic fan base. So we are going to be doing that after games, I think, and maybe a Sunday. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.